Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when heaven decides to interrupt the ordinary, when everything you endured in silence is about to be revealed in the open. You didn't suffer for nothing. You didn't wait in vain, and you weren't forgotten in the shadows. What God has been preparing in private is about to be displayed in public. The doors that stayed closed are about to open. The tears you cried are about to speak. And the favor you thought was delayed is about to arrive right on time. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear may explain why your struggle has lasted this long and why God is about to bless you in front of the whole world. The world may not know your name today, but heaven knows your heart. You have walked through quiet seasons where your faith was tested and your tears were hidden. You have done the right thing when no one was watching, trusted God when the answers did not come, and kept moving when your strength felt gone. There were moments when you wondered if obedience mattered, if prayer made a difference, if your perseverance was seen at all. But hear this truth clearly, and without doubt God is about to bless you in front of the whole world. There will be moments when the blessing feels overwhelming, not because it is too heavy, but because it is so clearly undeserved by human standards. You will realize that what is unfolding could never have been achieved by effort alone. This is where humility deepens and dependence on God becomes even more essential. The higher He lifts you, the more you must lean on Him. Because visibility brings responsibility and favor requires faithfulness. As doors open, distractions will try to follow. Not every opportunity will be your assignment. Not every voice speaking into your life will be sent to guide you. Discernment will matter more than applause. You will need the same quiet spirit you had in the waiting season to navigate the season of increase. The same prayer life that sustained you in lack must sustain you in abundance. God did not bless you publicly so you could drift privately. Some will celebrate what God is doing in your life, and others will struggle to understand it. Do not let either response define you. Approval can become a trap just as easily as criticism. Keep your heart anchored, stay teachable, stay obedient. The blessing is not the destination, it is part of the assignment. God is trusting you with influence, with resources, with visibility, because He knows your heart can handle it when it remains surrendered. You may look back and see how every delay protected you, how every closed door saved you, how every season of silence trained your ears to hear God more clearly. You will understand that timing is not punishment, it is wisdom. God waited until your character could carry what your calling required. He shaped your heart before He shaped your future. What is unfolding will challenge you to forgive deeper, love wider, and serve more faithfully. The world will see the fruit, but God will be watching the root. He will be looking at how you treat people when you no longer need their approval. He will notice how you respond when success becomes normal. He will measure your greatness by your obedience, not your recognition. There will be days when you feel unqualified for what God is doing through you. Let that feeling drive you back to prayer, not away from purpose. God has never chosen people because they were sufficient. He chooses them because He is. His strength is revealed most clearly when human weakness is surrendered. You are not expected to be perfect, only faithful. As your life becomes a testimony, remember that God is still working in areas others cannot see. Growth does not stop because blessing has arrived. Refinement continues. Faith is stretched again and again. Each level brings new lessons, new challenges, and new opportunities to trust God more deeply than before. Stay sensitive to His voice. When He prompts you to give, give. When He asks you to wait, wait. When He calls you to speak, speak with grace and truth. Obedience will keep you aligned with His will long after the excitement fades. The same voice that guided you in obscurity will guide you in abundance if you remain listening. People will ask how it happened. Some will want a formula, others a shortcut. But you will know there was no secret except faithfulness, surrender, and trust in God's timing. You will know it was built in prayer, shaped through endurance, and sustained by grace. And even as the world watches, your heart will remember the quiet place where it all began. There will still be challenges ahead, because blessing does not remove battles. It simply changes their nature. But you will face them with a deeper confidence, knowing that the God who brought you this far has not changed. He is still leading. He is still providing. He is still working all things together for good. Each step forward will require courage. Each new responsibility will require wisdom. Each visible moment will require humility. And through it all, God will remain faithful, continuing to unfold His purpose, continuing to shape your life into a living testimony, continuing to demonstrate through you that His promises are not empty words, but living truths revealed through lives that trust Him completely and walk forward even when the path demands greater faith, deeper surrender, and unwavering belief in what He is still unfolding before your eyes. You will discover that with greater blessing comes greater testing, not to defeat you, but to refine you. The same God who entrusted you with increase will allow moments that remind you where your strength truly comes from. These moments are not setbacks, they are reminders that dependence on Him is not optional at any stage of life. Success does not replace faith, it demands it even more. There will be times when people misunderstand your intentions as your influence grows. Some will assume the blessing changed you, when in truth it revealed you. Let your consistency speak louder than any defense. Character sustained over time is the loudest testimony. When pressure rises, return to the values that shaped you in obscurity. Integrity will protect what talent alone never could. God will also use you to lift others. He never blesses a life just to display it. He blesses it to distribute hope. You will notice opportunities to encourage those who feel invisible, to strengthen those who are weary, to remind others that waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. What you endured will become a bridge for someone else's faith. Your past pain will become present purpose. Guard your inner life carefully. The world will applaud the outward results, but God will always look at the inward posture. Make room for silence. Make room for prayer. Make room for humility. Crowds can grow, but your devotion must grow deeper. Noise may increase, but your sensitivity to God's voice must become sharper, not weaker. There will be moments when you are tempted to rush ahead, to take control, to rely on momentum instead of guidance. Resist that urge. What God began by faith must be sustained by faith. Speed is not always progress. Sometimes the most powerful move is to pause, listen, and obey. God's pace is intentional, and His timing continues to be precise. You may find yourself standing in rooms you once prayed to enter, speaking words you once whispered in private. When that happens, remember that God placed you there for a reason. Do not shrink back, but do not exalt yourself either. Speak with conviction, walk with compassion, and lead with humility. Authority rooted in service will always endure. There will be seasons when you must choose obedience over comfort again. The blessing does not exempt you from sacrifice. In fact, it may require more of it. God may ask you to give when it would be easier to keep, to forgive when it would be easier to remember, to trust when it would be easier to fear. These moments will shape your legacy more than any visible success. Do not measure your life by comparison. God's work in you is unique, and His plan for you is specific. What He does through others does not diminish what He is doing through you. Stay focused on your assignment. Faithfulness in your calling will always matter more than popularity in someone else's lane. There will be days when the weight of responsibility feels heavy. On those days, return to the truth that God never calls without equipping. He does not place you where His grace cannot sustain you. What feels beyond you is meant to draw you closer to Him. Lean into prayer. Lean into trust. Lean into the assurance that He is still in control. As time passes, you will notice that your confidence is no longer rooted in outcomes, but in obedience. Whether the response is applause or silence, your peace will come from knowing you followed God's direction. That kind of peace cannot be shaken by opinion or circumstance. It is anchored in truth. You will continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to be shaped. God's work in your life is not a moment. It is a process. Each season builds upon the last. Each step reveals more of His faithfulness. And even as the world witnesses what He is doing through you, your heart will remain fixed on Him, trusting His guidance, honoring His voice, and walking forward with steady faith, knowing that every step ahead still depends on His presence, His wisdom, and His unchanging promises unfolding day by day. You will begin to recognize that maturity is revealed not by how loudly you celebrate victories, but by how steadily you walk through responsibility. The blessing brings attention, but wisdom teaches restraint. There will be moments when silence becomes your strength, when saying less protects more, and when listening becomes an act of leadership. God refines not only what you do, but how you carry what He has given. There will be times when expectations rise faster than understanding. People may project their hopes onto you, assuming you have all the answers simply because you have been entrusted with influence. In those moments, remember that you are still learning, still growing, still dependent on God's guidance. It is not weakness to admit you need wisdom. It is humility that keeps you aligned. You will also face seasons when obedience requires courage rather than comfort. Doing what is right will not always be applauded. Standing firm may cost approval, but integrity will always outlast popularity. God honors those who choose truth over convenience and faith over fear. When you stay rooted in conviction, He remains faithful to sustain you. As your journey continues, you may notice that the lessons become subtler but no less important. God will teach you patience in progress, peace in pressure, and joy in responsibility. He will remind you that growth is not always loud. Sometimes it happens quietly, deep within the heart, shaping perspective and strengthening resolve. There will be opportunities to compromise values in exchange for faster results. Resist them. Shortcuts may look appealing, but they weaken foundations. What God builds slowly is built to last. The process that formed you is the same process that will protect you. Stay faithful to what brought you here. You will find that faith becomes less about asking God to change circumstances and more about trusting Him within them. Confidence will no longer come from control, but from surrender. You will learn that peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of trust. This understanding will steady you when uncertainty tries to shake you. There will be moments when your past tries to speak louder than your purpose. Old doubts, old fears, old labels may resurface. Do not engage them. You are not who you were. You are who God is shaping you to be. Growth does not erase memory, but it redefines identity. Keep moving forward. You will encounter people who are watching your life closely, even if they never say a word. Your consistency will speak to them. Your humility will encourage them. Your perseverance will inspire them. God often uses lives, not words, to preach the loudest messages. Walk carefully, knowing your obedience carries influence beyond what you can see. There will be days when joy feels effortless and days when discipline must carry you forward. Both are part of the journey. God is present in celebration and in commitment. Faithfulness is proven not in moments of excitement, but in seasons of routine. Stay steady when the feeling fades. As time passes, gratitude will become your anchor. You will remember where you came from, what you survived, and how far God has brought you. That remembrance will guard your heart from pride and protect your spirit from discouragement. Gratitude keeps vision clear and purpose focused. You will continue to discover that God's work in your life is ongoing. Each chapter prepares you for the next. Each lesson strengthens your trust. Each challenge deepens your dependence. And even when the path ahead stretches beyond what you can see, you will walk forward with confidence, knowing that the same God who guided you through hidden seasons, public blessing, testing, and growth is still leading every step, still shaping your heart, still unfolding His plan through your obedience, and still faithful to complete what He has begun as you continue to trust Him fully and walk in faith.